took your favorite game and made a movie so bad you had to spew. What's a nerd to do? Well, listen to 8-Bit Movie Review with Josh and Andrew. It's 8-Bit Movie Review.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. This is Andrew Gonzalez,
And I am Boy.
and this is 8-Bit Movie Review, the podcast where we discuss movies, series, and all things video games. And we finally made it through our Path to War miniseries, where we
Mega series.
Mega series, where we lead up to our discussion of God of War Ragnarok, and we're finally fucking here.
DJ Khaled loves Kratos.
And joining us from our Binding of Isaac episode is Joe D. Another one.
Yo, how's it going?
China. Old China Joe over there. That's what my stepdad calls the president.
Oh God! And since we
That's pretty tame.
Yeah, well, he says other things too. So.
Yeah.
and we had such a good time discussing Binding of Isaac with you, we thought, this would definitely be a good game to break down. And boy, guys, we've been waiting.
Psych, we're actually going to talk about Marvel Snap.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
do want to do an episode on
Have you been playing it? Oh,
He's been
gaming zone,
He's
guys.
been telling me every day, like, me and Joe D talk about Marvel Snap every day. Dude, you got to get it. It's so good.
We're gonna
It
get
is.
into it.
Oh,
we
yeah.
will be doing Gaming Zone. So if you're tuning in, just to let you know, we are not holding back. So if you have not fully played the game, finish it, then come back. But we're talking about fucking everything. Spoilers, baby. We're going right into spoiler country. So if you haven't played the full game, don't fucking listen to this episode.
It's been a month, so if you wanted to play it, you should have played it.
You should have. Yeah.
I'm on my third playthrough, so
I just finished it yesterday.
yeah. Well, Joe D has like a life. I did not.
Not really.
Well, see, I lucked out because my fiance Kat has decided to get back into Animal Crossing. So she'll be like, "Yeah, I don't want to watch anything. I just want to cross some animals." I'll be like, "Okay, I'm gonna go fight this dragon." And
I've tried to play those Animal Crossing games, but it's really not for me.
I understand the appeal,
the whole-
but it's not for me.
Yeah.
This is for me.
Hell yeah.
A bald man who is very albino screaming as he rips people apart. This is for me.
Yes.
But before we get into the very exciting discussion that we've been waiting to get into, there are a couple things that we want to go over. There's been a new Last of Us trailer, guys. And
I
Jody,
did see that.
Have you played the series Last of Us?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Last of Us. What are you talking about?
It's
his
one
favorite
of my
game.
favorite series. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I've played them multiple times. I've only played the second one once. I got to play that again, but the first one I
definitely want to go through.
just
it
completed
again.
my 5th playthrough when the remaster came out.
Yeah, I didn't play the remaster because I don't want to play full price for a game I already have.
I did. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, the graphics are amazing.
Yeah, I did one playthrough and then I was like, I'm gonna go play through again with like unlimited explosive arrows.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I got halfway through and I'm like, okay. I mean, this is like my 7th playthrough or something of this game. Like, it does look great, but I'll come back to it.
But speaking about the trailer, it looks great. I think Pedro Pascal's going to do an excellent job.
I don't know about Belle Ramsey.
Yeah.
Still, she'll be okay.
Some of the like the locales look amazing. Like when they were going across the rooftops.
calzones.
Yeah.
There was a part when they were driving and you could see like the house on fire, like all straight from the game.
Yeah, even like one of the first trailers where they showed downtown Boston with the building leaning on the other building, like the skyscraper, that's just straight out of the video game. So.
Yeah, it looks really faithful to the look of the game.
It also looks like they're going to do some things differently as far as where they go.
Yes, and if you haven't finished Last of Us or played Last of Us 2, I'm going to talk about a spoiler for the next 5 minutes. So forward or come back, I don't know. But I noticed in the trailer that it seems like they're doing the full first game. That they're gonna definitely lead up until the
Plus some Left Behind stuff. It looks like.
Yeah, because like I assume Pascal does not want to be tied to another series for very long. So like I think he's just like, yeah, let's just do the story. Get me out of there at the beginning of season 2.
Yes, Andrew, you are correct. It does look like that. It looks like they're going to fit a lot of the first game plus Left Behind in there. And I also noticed that it looks like Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson have a role because it was super quick. The woman giving birth was Ashley Johnson. And it looks like Troy Baker is playing one of David's just crew.
Yeah.
Did you guys see at the Game Awards how Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker came out
with Pedro Pascal
and
whatever. I didn't see that, but
no, I didn't see.
It was cool.
I
heard
was
really
about that.
fucking cool.
They probably were told they had to do that. Like,
But
Yeah.
make people think that you guys are close friends, so they like the show, and they don't just play the game again.
I just wish they just cast Ashley Johnson. I don't even care.
Yeah, she's like 38 now, playing a 16-year-old.
She looks young. Like I don't know.
Yeah. They got that face.
Did you ever see the live action like stage show they did for The Last of Us?
No.
Yeah.
They actually dressed up like the characters and did some scenes. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And he looks like a skinnier, hipster Joel.
Yeah.
It should have been Hugh Jackman. They basically already did The Last of Us with Logan.
Just make it. Everything's the same except.
He's not a mutant,
Wolverine.
and there's clickers.
But overall, I think the trailer looks great. We saw our bloater.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
I really like the bloater.
I mean, I think the clickers' practical effects look a little better because the bloater seemed like it's
CGI.
just going to be CGI.
Yeah, they're using a mixture which can make or break a show. When you do a mixture, it's like sometimes very obvious.
Yeah.
And everyone that's listening, if you're new to the show, you will hear a lot of clinking around sometimes because
Just a dog.
I've just given up on trying to edit her out. It just doesn't work.
She's just making the rounds, smashing into stuff. She's got a big dumb head.
But, the next topic is we kind of briefly brought it up, but the Game Awards happened.
Yes. They just happened 2 days ago, right? Thursday?
Yeah. Thursday, the 8th. That's when it happened. It was long. I was like, oh, I'll watch this. And it took a long time. Unfortunately, the game that we are discussing did not win Game of the Year.
Yeah.
I think.
But it won 6 out of 10 of the other things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Game of the Year. Listen, I completely understand that Elden Ring won Game of the Year. I get it. God of War Ragnarok has been out 1 month. Elden Ring has been out the entire year. People still play it. Well, Elden Ring doesn't have a fucking story, really, and your character doesn't say anything. So you're just like, this character has such depth. No, that's not what that game is all about. That game has great replayability as far as like, oh, I can play completely differently. I can go and fight bosses completely in a separate way. So I get it.
And I think it's because of the different platforms it's on.
The global impact it had. Yes, I completely understand that Elden Ring won.
Which is fine.
Yep.
And, since we're on it, and Jody, you brought it a little bit up before we started recording, there was somebody that crashed when the speech after Elden Ring was announced as the game.
Yeah, they were invaded.
Yeah, I thought I thought those guys were with them, like designers or something, because a bunch of people went up.
He snuck up on the stage like Kramer on Seinfeld when he went up on the stage on the Tony Awards.
Just some random kid who wanted to talk
he said
about
something about like reform, like I nominate Reform Rabbi Bill Clinton.
Yeah,
because like he stayed there the whole time there was like the speech was going on, and the creator of Elden Ring like probably was so confused because he doesn't speak English, so he's probably like, oh, I don't know who
is that a QA tester?
Yeah.
And then he just like said so. He sounded messed up. Like he sounded like he was like gone out of his skull. And then like it was just so awkward. Is it me or the Game Awards were just kind of awkward, huh? Like
see they don't focus. Like, because some of the awards are just like, oh, here's like a list of quick awards, and then it's like, here's our big awards, but we also want to show a bunch of advertisements for other stuff.
Well,
That's like the only reason I watch it is to see like the new game trailers.
but it was like even like I think like the crowd for a Game Awards is completely different than something like you'd see for like the Emmys. Like they don't like jokes as much, even though Keegan-Michael Key was like bombing on stage when he came on stage and started talking about the sneak peek we saw of the Mario movie where they make sure that Mario does not say much of anything. They didn't want people booing at the Game Awards. So
It's a me, Mario.
oh, here's your coin, sir. But like did you see Keegan-Michael Key come on?
No, I didn't
So
see
he
that
came
part.
on and he made the joke about like the biggest thing, like it's like, dude, you don't know your audience very well. He's like, so people keep asking me about the hat, about Toad's head, if it's a hat. And he's like, well, it's actually a cap. You know, mushrooms have caps and you take them off. But he's like, now that I'm saying it though, cap's just another word for hat. And there was like no laughs. And it's like,
Yeah, because Jordan Peele wasn't writing his jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some fucking behind the scenes, very white, probably Jewish guy was writing the
Bruce
jokes.
Valanche.
Bruce Valanche.
he's like, God damn it, Bruce.
This
Wrong
isn't
crowd.
gold.
And then he's like, hey, here's the thing. And like, there was just like a lot of weird, awkward things. Like Al Pacino, like
Oh God.
that was so awkward.
He was out of his element, but he was trying. He was
He
definitely tried.
He
I liked.
Like, I never played a video game.
He's like,
I
but my kids, they bring me back in. To this.
I'll be drinking a Dunkachino.
Oh no.
No, I'd say I obviously a man that old is not like, I don't play video games. I don't fucking know about them. But even he was like, yeah, these people, you know, at this point, they're not just putting their voice in, they're putting in like actual performances. And if he can recognize that, fine.
Well,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
He did his part.
But
That also took me back. I was like, why is Al Pacino giving Christopher Judge the fucking best performance award?
Oh, and how about like how long Christopher Judge's speech went on?
It was so long.
I was surprised, honestly, because you'd think that they'd have like give him a little bit of time, and they did start playing music. But I mean,
Yeah.
like 5 minutes into it, they
Oh,
started playing music.
Well,
Yeah,
he was thanking everybody. Like he was just like he
First, my mom.
yeah. And he was also
Mom.
if I knew this was going to be for a video game, I probably wouldn't have done it. I'm like, dude, don't say that. Like, I know.
Well, he was an actor.
Yeah, I know, but like, as a gamer, kind of made me be like, come on. I would
Well,
have been like, fuck yeah.
Well, it's like a movie star having to start doing TV. They think that's the end. It's the same thing. It's perception. He was in TV for a long time and movies, and now he's like, well, now you're in a video game, and he's like, oh, how the mighty have fallen, not knowing that would actually prop up him as an actor, big time.
Was it me or did how do you say his last name? Sonny's last name. Soljic.
Soljic?
Yeah.
Did he thank Sonny? I
He
think
did, yeah.
He did Sonny.
Because he also addressed him and told him like some hints about.
I didn't
working in
watch the whole
industry.
thing because I was like outside playing Snap and smoking a joint, and it was cold, and I was like, I gotta go in.
Yeah.
But like he kind of seemed a little disappointed, Sonny. Like I hope one year he wins just to get his,
Yeah.
you know, because he did a good job. He did a really.
He did,
for
but he
sure.
didn't do a better job than Christopher.
Well,
Judge.
yeah.
No.
You
He did
are-
a good job,
Well, come on.
but he's also a kid.
just Kratos president. Kratos for
president.
You heard it here, folks. His presence is just so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, Christopher Judge was dripped the fuck out in like
Oh,
a
I
gold
know.
suit.
Yeah, he's like, yep,
Who's gonna fuck with that guy in real life?
no way.
No one.
But so the games that they did win, the awards that God of War did win were Best Narrative, fuck yeah,
Makes sense.
Best Score and Music, knew
Makes
that was
sense.
gonna win, Best Audio Design,
Makes sense.
Best Performance,
course.
Christopher Judge, Innovation and Accessibility, and Best Action Adventure. They fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
I was glad to see that Stray got a couple nominees. I knew they weren't going to win, but as an indie designing game, I thought it was a nice game. It could be better. and I'm hoping that they come out with a sequel and they implement a lot more.
Where you play as two cats.
Yeah.
Well, I wish they just did more. Like they were like, you can scratch on this door. It does nothing. Like you can sleep on this robot's lap. Okay, it'd be cool if it like healed you, or if there was more reasons you did these certain things. Yeah. But you know,
I haven't played it, but it looks pretty cool.
It's fun. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I had to play it with one hand because of my accident, and my buddy Rich got me like a
you know why you played it with one hand.
Yeah, so I can jerk off to that cat, baby.
Jerking off to some
pussy. Love that puss. Meow.
Damn.
Yeah, I hate myself right now. But yeah, the Gaming Awards was very interesting. Animal was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it. I caught some videos that seemed important after the fact.
But it was the only funny thing that was about Animal. I think Animal got the most laughs. The thing that I thought was kind of funny was they were like, so if there was an animal type, well, they were like, Animal, what type of game would you like to be made by? Like, do you have an idea for a game for yourself? And he was like, Animal Crossing. And then like he was like, oh, well, that's already a game, but who would you like to make your game? And he's like, Kojima.
Oh.
And Kojima, let's see.
They announced Death Stranding 2. I don't know if you guys played the first one, but
I heard that announcement. I'm just like,
the size.
I wanted to like
don't
it.
want to play that
I
game.
think I'm like 80% through, and I just couldn't finish it.
I finished it. That's a love-hate relationship with that game.
The one boss battle I did was fun, and then it was like, back to delivering packages.
For some reason,
time to bottle your piss and make it into weapons.
And duty bombs.
And like
don't stare at Daryl Dixon's dick or he'll punch the screen.
Blatant advertisements for a ride with Normaritas.
Yep.
That was so weird. AMC. Well, he's taking a pee.
Oh, baby.
Death Stranding, didn't it end in a like kind of? Is there a way there could be a sequel? I thought I saw.
There is going to be a sequel.
Well,
yeah, they already
announced.
They're doing it.
There's a trailer. Right?
Yeah, you're going to deliver more and more elaborate cargo.
Yeah,
and that's it.
You're just connecting America.
They take out the shadow things, and
about.
it's like Paperboy, but with like boxes.
That game. Remember when you came over, Josh, and you're like, "I'm just gonna watch you play it."
I just made fun of it. I was like, "This is fucking dumb."
And it was like, "Oh, this is kind of boring." Then all of a sudden, music kicks in. It's like, it's like
only
the national
cool,
play.
There's some parts where you're like going down a mountain. It's kind of cool, but like most of the time you're just frustrated.
You're like, whoa. When you get a bike, it makes it easier, but then it's like your packages are being rained on, and yeah, and it's just like, yeah, it's fucking weird. It's like to upgrade your weapons to deliver more packages. It's like,
no, thank you. I'll play a different game.
I got so bored. There was so many times I'd play it and I'd start falling asleep while playing it.
The damn baby keeps crying. You gotta like rock the controller to shut it up.
I'm like, fucking tar monsters.
It sounds so stupid. Everything you guys are saying about it sounds so
stupid. I'm at 80% and I kept telling Kat, I'm like, I just gotta finish it.
I got through it.
I just like, and then I think something came out at that time and I'm like, I just can't play this anymore. Yeah. I just can't. It's but people love it.
I kind of liked it a lot but hated it at the same time. It's just really weird, but like, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
I liked the story, like the clips and stuff like that, and I was just like, just get me to that. Get me to the next point. But
and they're like, well, I hope you want to meet Conan O'Brien. Because he's in this game.
I never found him.
Me neither. I didn't find, but I heard he's in that.
He gives you something that lets you like swim like a sea otter or something like that.
That's so fucking weird. It's so weird.
I think we're done talking about this game.
Yeah.
We have so much better stuff to talk about.
I know. We should get to the...
There's two more games I want to talk about that they announced.
Yeah, sure.
I did finally see the trailer for Jedi Survivor, and
I haven't seen that yet.
It looks actually pretty good. The one before it, though, I hope they make that there are lightsaber upgrades instead.
Andrew wasn't good at it.
What are you talking? It was clunky as fuck. It was just so fucking clunky. The
way better people said it was so good.
Yeah, no, well, they're idiots. They probably like the Last Jedi too. Anyway, but
what's wrong with Last Jedi? That was pretty good.
That's a discussion for another time.
Yeah, fuck that. That's a whole episode.
That's the only. I didn't see it. That's the only one I didn't watch.
Oh, that one sucks so bad.
I hate all the sequel trilogy.
Do you remember from the Reindeer Herbie? He's like, I don't want to be a dentist. I mean, I don't want to make toys. I want to be a dentist. That was like fucking Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. He's like, I don't want to be a Jedi. I want to be a hermit. But Jedi Survivor, it looks like there's more combat to it. I'm just hoping they make lightsaber upgrades actually mean something instead of it just being full cosmetic. I don't know if you played the other one. I forgot what the one was called. The one before
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Don't know if you played that.
The
Joe.
first
like
one,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Did you find it clunky? I found it clunky.
A little bit. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of like the Dark Souls style of game, and I know that's kind of what it was trying to emulate. So I made my way through it, but I kind of was getting my ass kicked because I'm not really like super good at those kind of games.
Yeah, this one looks like though it's a little bit, the flow is a little bit better.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So we'll see about that. Josh, what do you think from what you saw?
It looks like a game I probably won't play because I didn't play the first, and yeah, I'm not a big Star Wars guy. So,
did you finally see the next game? I want to discuss the newest trailer for Final Fantasy. What number is this?
16. No, I did not see the trailer.
No, me either.
Oh, you guys, it looks so fucking good.
It looks so fucking good with the first two trailers I've already seen. I'm already sold on it.
Well, I only saw like one where it just showed the people talking, and then you see a couple summons, and then this one like had like combat, and it looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think the second one showed combat. Plus, it also showed summons fighting each other.
Well, yeah, that's what this one did. But this one was great. It looks great. I'm very excited for that game.
Summer 2023, right?
Yeah, I think
I'll be playing it.
I'll check it out when it comes out.
I played 15, and I like that, and not a lot of people like that one.
I only like really tried the beginning of that, and then never really played any more of it.
I gotta push a car? Fuck this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fuck that car. Fuck that game.
That game was sick.
I checked out as soon as I saw fucking what's the camping company that they use, like
Coleman.
The Coleman Grill. They bust that out, and I'm like, oh, fuck this game.
Well, wait till later when there's fucking like cup of noodles. And it's like you can make. There's a cup of noodles mission where you got to fight a behemoth to make behemoth steak cup of noodles, which is also like the best
that
food
sounds
in
delicious.
the game. It's actually like the best food in the game.
Well, all right. Let's get on to our next segment before we get into this deep conversation that we're gonna have, because we got a lot to cover, boys. But I can't have Jody on and not do the Gaming Zone. The Gaming Zone is a segment we do where I do this voice that Josh absolutely hates. We discuss the games that we're playing right now, and yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
All right, I'll go first. God of War Ragnarok for my third playthrough.
I still am playing Binding of Isaac.
I think after this playthrough, I am going to go back to Binding of Isaac for a little bit because I have so much. I have so much left to do, and I won't say I'm burnt out on God of War Ragnarok. I would probably play it again, but yeah, I need a bit of a break.
Well, that's what my question was going to be. Now that we've finished God of War Ragnarok, is there, even if you're not playing something right now, is there a particular game you're looking to move on to?
Honestly, I was really hoping Callisto Protocol was going to be really good, but I've heard it's not. I heard the developers hyped it up so much as a spiritual successor to Dead Space, and when it didn't deliver, people were fucking pissed. Because it's not that. You barely have any gunplay. You're fucking meleeing shit the whole game. People have said it's like fucking Punch-Out. You're just like dodging and then counterattacking. But that's so dumb. Don't say it's Dead Space then. Just because there's fucking aliens in space.
Can you like knock them out when they go wah, 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 when you like stun them and
Buy
stuff?
the game and find out. I won't be.
You're just little Mac.
I've heard very bad stuff, so I'm not going to be getting it. I will be getting Dead Space Remake when it comes out, and I will be getting RE4 Remake when it comes out. And those are the games I think at least in March is when RE4 Remake comes out.
Yeah,
so
that's what I read.
I guess I'll be waiting till then.
Unless they push it back. Joe, is there you said you're playing Binding of Isaac. Is there anything that you're looking to get into to like, you're done with God of War? Like, is there anything else you're gonna do? Are you gonna platinum it?
I'm not sure. I'm like,
Ooh.
I'll have to see. Like, if things are like too hard, I'm not like too much of a completionist, honestly.
So you're just a pussy.
Yeah.
No, honestly, some of the platinum for this game is not as tedious as the previous game. But some of the stuff, like some of the Berserker fights,
that's what I'm not looking forward to.
The one in particular, the fucking 3 of them, it's not even just tedious, it can be just unfair.
Yeah.
It's the most unfair boss fight.
It's so fucking...
Even the King Berserker is not as unfair.
Yeah,
even
that was
the fucking new Valkyrie Queen is not as unfair. Because it's just unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I've just been playing a lot of Marvel Snap as we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck you, by the way. I'm addicted and I can't. So that's what I've been playing, folks, is just I will lay on my bed.
Didn't Marvel Snap win something at the Game Awards?
Mobile Game of the Year.
Yeah, mobile game of the year. The game came out like fucking 2 months ago.
And everyone was snapping instead of clapping.
It's it's great.
God.
Like it's great because you don't have to spend a lot of money or any money at all if you don't want to, and you're constantly being given more cards to play with, and
it's so hard not to. I haven't spent money yet, but
I bought the season pass of last month, and I'm probably gonna buy the one for this month.
Actually, I did lie. Yeah. I did spend money because I wanted that silver.
If you're
server
playing
card.
it a lot, why not?
I mean, all you really get is like card variants. You get access to like certain cards earlier, like this month, Silver Surfer is the new card, and you can like he'll be able to be unlockable like later on. But like if you buy the season pass, you can get him now.
Yeah. He's all right card.
Yeah, I think I'll probably be getting Marvel Snap soon. Hearthstone just had a big expansion come out, and I've played like my playing. Like I try to log in once a day and play a couple matches, and now it's like every 2 or 3 days I'll play one match.
Yeah,
and now this whole expansion with like 160 new cards and a bunch of different mechanics came out. And I haven't looked at any of this stuff. Any of the new cards. I am still using a deck from fucking 2 expansions ago, which is still viable.
I haven't played Hearthstone in years.
See, that's the thing I like about Snap. It's not overly complicated, but who knows?
Yeah.
Later on, they might add some shit.
Yeah.
I do think I wish there were a little bit more rounds.
Well, I was just gonna say that's what I like about the game is how quick it is, and like you can structure your decks are very structured on what cards to play on each turn.
Yeah,
like
I would prefer that.
Yeah, because like the games are like under 5 minutes.
Yeah. Because so many times you could just be playing against a fucking asshole who they'll play their card and then they'll let their entire turn just go until
they'll rope you
till the rope. Yeah, they'll just do it and they'll keep like spamming emotes like hello,
dude.
Hello.
I mean, there's a little bit of that in this game, but it's not as bad.
The day after we recorded and you told me that they do that in Hearthstone, that night. Well, actually, it wasn't the day after. It was that night. I went to play, and I don't know if that was in the game before, but all of a sudden there was like emojis being like snap, or
there's
boop.
the people that do that.
Was that new recently?
No, that's always been part of the game. But
I'm like, fucking stop.
And as you like get more cards, you'll start to like play people with more cards. If that makes sense. Like once you get there's like little different tiers. So like once you get to a certain level, you'll start to see new decks and like. I'm still seeing cards that I haven't seen before. It's crazy.
It's a lot of fun, and we could.
So many characters too. Like every card you could think of is already.
When Josh gets into it, I would like to do a Marvel Snap episode.
Oh yeah,
I think it's coming soon. Because I've already been like looking at because I have like several mobile games I try to play like a little bit of at least once a day.
Yeah,
and like right now I don't
play that fucking game.
Like I play Sudoku.
I play this like anytime I'm at any spare time because the games are so fast. So you can play a game like on my break. I can play like 3 or 4. I can play like 3 or 4 games on my break, or maybe even more.
Yeah, last night I was like, well, I got nothing to do. I'll get back into Cyberpunk, and for like an hour and a half, I just fucking played Marvel Snap, just lying on the bed. It was awesome. Now, finally,
You did an asshole voice. I wanted to do it.
Wow, gaming's almost You sound like Professor Frink.
Violently.
Also, like Jerry Lewis from like the 50s, where he was just like the kooky Jewish guy in the fucking
Yeah,
Rat
that's
Pack.
basically what Professor Frank is kind of going
Oh, that's
for.
true.
Well,
Yeah, that's
speaking
true.
of kooky Jewish guy,
Kratos, no.
I was gonna say God of War Ragnarok.
Yes.
He's Jewish. He is a Jew.
Now, Josh, you and I've gone over already, so we don't really need to break it down into our history, because if you listen to our previous episode where we went over the 2018 God of War, we went over our history with the game and the franchise. Joe, what is your history with the God of War franchise?
Well, I've been playing him since the beginning. Like I'll never forget going over to my friend's house. I had never heard of the game, and he had it, and I was just like, he's just like, come over, I got this game, you got to check it out. And I'll just never forget how blown away I was by it, like just the scale of everything.
Brutal.
Yeah,
There wasn't a lot of stuff that was as advertised and as out there as like a main title for a video game as God of War. Yeah, continue. Sorry.
But yeah. So after I saw him play it, I had to get it myself, and I've played all the games in the series. Like God of War 3 is probably my favorite as far as the original games.
It's one of the best.
It is.
Yeah.
I actually have been watching like cinematics from the third, and they really like the stuff they did with their cinematics, especially a lot of the kills against gods. They put you in the POV perspective of the person dying. So like Poseidon is just like, you don't know what you're going to do, Kratos. And he's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then you just see Kratos hammering you and fucking kicking you and shit. And you're like, oh, fuck.
You can just like absolutely bash Hercules' face in like over and over again.
Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah.
I can't believe they got Kevin Sorbo for that.
I can believe it. He was Hercules back then.
Yeah, I've always loved the series. I've played Ascension too. I've never played any of the like the
PSP ones.
now.
Nope. Just main title.
Well, wasn't
games.
Ascension?
That wasn't made by the Santa Monica studio.
Okay, because Ascension that was on PSP as well, right?
No, that was on PS2 or
okay.
PS3.
PS3.
Yeah, PS3.
Because I played all of those. I played every single game I mentioned before, except the second one. I still have never played the second one.
There's a part in the second one that I hate. It's like you're trying to turn this crank in the bottom of a well, and there's all these skeletons constantly attacking you, and it's like whenever you let go of the crank, it like undoes your progress. So you kind of have to balance.
Oh
between,
my god!
Yeah,
you just gave me PTSD, dude. I remember that from when I was like fucking 16 or something.
It's the worst part of the whole game.
That's kind of what the original games were that you'd go into an area, you'd hit a swarm of guys, solve a puzzle, but then like some of it was trying to solve a puzzle while you're being bombarded by tons and tons of guys.
I specifically remember the first game, you got to a room and you just have to beat the enemies so quickly, or just the floor drops out and you insta-die.
Yep.
And I got stuck in that room because I just couldn't beat the guys quick enough. And I'm like, is this impossible or am I just bad?
Like spikes would drop down on
you.
You.
Something like that.
And so, being a fan of the original games, when you went into 2018 God of War, what was like your first thought of being like, what was it like? Well, knowing how the gameplay was the original, and then you go to this, like how?
Yeah, I mean, I had some reservations at first because it was a lot different. And like I was a big fan of the kind of like the hack and slash gameplay of the original games, and the 2018 still does have gameplay like that, but it's more like there's not as many enemies as you would face in like in the original games.
Where it like tallies up your combo and it's like merciful, dynamic.
Those were like, those were about just racking up these crazy combos. It was a lot more arcadey of games, but like, I really like the 2008. Like once I finally played it, I fell in love with it, and I really love the move to the Norse mythology because obviously like basically Kratos killed everyone in his homeworld,
and he doomed every person that still lives in Greece.
So.
And just dipped out.
Yeah.
He's just like, gotta go. I have a hole in my stomach. I gotta find a redheaded bitch to heal me.
Yeah.
Maybe make a kid.
Yeah.
Heal my dick, you mean, right?
So yeah, I love the 2018 one. It was like probably my game of the year that year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you probably also started liking it because you really like The Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
Which is a very story-driven and also character relationship-driven game, which God of War is also the same thing. You can say it's just a father and child relationship, even though Joel and, Ellie aren't father and daughter. There's still that dynamic that's happening throughout the game.
And what makes it the most too for like this game is like, if you're a fan of the originals, like I just love how they didn't make it that like, yep, he's refreshed, he's in a new area. No, he is so tired. Kratos is so fucking tired.
He's very old.
Like this one, he really like you see how much. Like I feel like he needs to eat some protein. Like at the beginning, like
they have him eat. He eats in Ragnarok. You finally get to see them eat.
See all the gray hairs in his beard.
You do.
It's just like, but he's like strong. But is it me? Like you see, he's got like those old man muscles.
Yeah,
where they're just like holding on to dear life.
I still wouldn't want to get hit by him.
No, I wouldn't either. He's a god, man. He can fucking lift pillars and
he's a god, man. Oh, actually, speaking of that, did you guys see the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special?
No, I have not seen that yet. I heard it was good.
It's worth it. It's very quick. It's like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. There is a fun reference where they go to the Hollywood, Drax and Mantis go to the Hollywood like Walk of Fame or whatever. Where all those characters are. And they start making money because people want to take pictures with them both. And one of the people is like, oh, I can't believe we got a picture with God of War. Because Drax. And I think that was like an inside joke because Drax, Batista wanted to play a live action God.
He
Kratos.
might, but they Amazon's doing. I think it's
He's
Amazon.
not tall enough.
Is come on.
He's not tall enough. Just get
Fucking
Christopher Judge. Put him in whiteface.
Hugh Jackman.
Oh no.
Well, it should be like a black person.
Well, yeah, because
Kratos is only white because of the ashes of his.
He's got his kid
relatives.
Yeah, that's his daughter's body ashes on his body. It's not white face. It's
but
ash face.
Hugh Jackman is taller than
black people get
Wolverine.
ashy.
Yeah, right. Ashy Larry.
He's Ashy Larry.
But we kind of want Kratos to be kind of short because constantly, especially in this one, most of the gods are just fucking huge compared to him.
Yeah, I really like that first interaction with Thor where you just sort of just like you'd think that they're pretty close, and then Thor's just towering over him. You're like, oh shit.
Or when you would first rescue Tyr, and he's like, he first stands up out of the cell. You're like, oh shit! Like Kratos is tall, but this guy is like literally a giant.
Oh, so that's part giant. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
And Kratos doesn't fucking back down though. He's just like, yeah,
You
you're.
don't give a fuck. Kratos is taking
pussy.
out Titans. You think some fucking 10-foot tall guy's gonna scare Kratos? Get the fuck out of here.
Now I know I didn't put it in here, but Josh, what would be a quick like story breakdown of like where we begin our story when we get back
to
Kratos and our boy?
So after Kratos and Atreus kill Baldur, Fimbulwinter starts, which is the winter and snow that starts before Ragnarok. And basically they're just training to prepare for whatever comes from Ragnarok. And Atreus has been doing some research on his own. That
Sneaky.
little sneaky boy. And Freya's still really fucking pissed and wants to kill at least Kratos for killing Baldur.
That fucking opening scene. Did you guys like?
Great tutorial.
My face hurt because I was just grinning the whole fucking time. Like when you're on the dog sled and fucking Freya's just like turning into a bird and a Valkyrie at the fucking just trying to attack you. Oh my god.
Yeah,
so
I love that.
Good.
I thought it was a great tutorial section. Even though it's kind of on the rails, they still give you a little bit of freedom with like moving the sled. But then also the whole section where you're chasing after Atreus after he buries Fenrir, and then like the revelation once you fight that boss fight.
Yeah.
I was blown away by that. I was like, I can't wait for that to keep happening or to come back around.
Oh, yeah, and it does towards the end.
Yeah.
What am I even saying? When Atreus is the bear.
Yeah, it's for doing spoilers.
spoiler, yeah.
Kratos almost fucking
Almost
kills his
kills
son.
him. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
when you
about to
fight a
snap
bear.
his neck, and he
Bjorn.
starts changing back. He's like, "Oh fuck!"
Father,
Yeah,
please
like-
don't snap my neck.
Yeah,
And-
I love turning into the wolf. It's so brutal.
It's so
Oh, it's
awesome.
so good.
So then, like, we got that beginning part, but then it kicks off. Like, we get the whole, because that happens first, right? Fenrir dies, the bear thing,
Mhm.
and then they go back to the cabin. They're so
and they go to
tired.
sleep. They're so you know what? Because throughout the whole first game, he's always like, Atreus, to me. And then when you're going back to the cabin, he's like, Atreus, to bed. I thought that was great.
That was great. And I think this is when, because, like, it's cool because they kept teasing us a little bit. They were like, we all know you saw the end of the last game and you're waiting for Thor to just show up. And they're like, okay, it's when Kratos wakes up. Nope, we're going to give you a dream sequence first. And, like, it's like, fuck, come on. I know it's coming. Let's fucking get it. And we meet Faye. We finally see
We
Faye.
do get to see Faye, who is
Yeah.
just Karen Page from Marvel's Daredevil series. Like, just, that's her.
I
It's
didn't
the
pick
actress.
up on it
Oh,
like,
is it?
at all.
I was like, oh, that voice sounds familiar. And then I looked at it, I'm like,
Deborah
oh.
Ann Wall.
I'm like, that's just the girl from the Daredevil series.
I didn't notice it. I was like, why is she so familiar? And then you picked it up, and I was like, oh shit, that's Deborah Ann Wall. Like, what the hell? Like, what? She does good. She's pretty good in it. I would love to see more of her. I wish we got to see some badassness because apparently she's fucking
Yeah,
brutal.
it would have been cool if in Vanaheim, when you find out that she fought Thor, that we could have gotten more than just stories. Maybe we got like, you find like a witch or something, and she shows us a vision or some shit,
some witchy poo.
some witchy fucking woman or something.
But we get like, it's all just her like talking to him beyond the grave, being like, remember, protect our son, protect our boy, and that our boy. And we
She did say it with that very deep voice.
Boy,
Protect
our boy.
protect our boy.
And then we finally get the scene, and the way they did this was so fucking good that they were like the scene where you see like from the end of the 2018 one, you see Thor, you see the hammer in his hilt, like he's gonna reach for it, and then credits or just end. I forgot what happens because it's after credits.
Yeah,
But-
it just ends because it's a dream at that point.
But in this, they go, he's reaching for the hammer, and then he goes by it, and he's like, I brought booze.
he brought mead,
I brought mead.
Oh yeah,
which is more fitting because he's an alcoholic dad in this
it
game.
really is. Yeah,
Oh, the bar fight? That was a lot of fun.
That was actually
Yeah.
pretty fun. But yeah, I don't know. Did we need to have like him be an alcoholic dad that like my daughter's upset with me because I drink booze?
and
yeah. It was
Come
a
on.
little
and,
much.
And the Thor reveal, oh my god, how he was like, I knew he was gonna be big, but he was fucking huge.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the size of that hammer, I'm like, oh, Kratos ain't getting that
He-
hammer.
he's gonna be a big boy.
Yeah, he looks a lot more close to how he's described in Norse mythology than,
Yes.
than like the Chris Hemsworth Thor.
Exactly. And that's another thing I wanted
Yeah.
to mention is a lot of people were like, "Oh, we got fat Thor again? That's fucking stupid." Look at all of the world's strongest men. Look at their physiques. They do not have ripped six packs, and all of them say, "Yeah, that's just a person that's starving themselves."
also,
They have those big guts,
Yeah.
but they can pick up 1,000 fucking pounds. That's what he looks like.
Yeah,
and also North mythology is like based off Viking lore. Like
yeah.
they're all fat and
Drinking, eating, fucking
Yeah.
killing. That's it. Throwing babies into fires and shit and over
Yeah.
ramparts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually working my way through the Marvel movies right now. I just watched Infinity War for the first time. It was when I
Wow.
got my new TV, and I was thinking when I was watching it, like how interesting it is, like how different the depictions of like these characters are. Like in the Marvel universe, like Thor and Odin are like
Yeah, they're like
they're like
Shakespearean
heroic
characters.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
And in this universe, they're like they're
They're
the
assholes.
antagonists. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
Because you can decipher their actual lore as they're bad people. Like they are
Yeah.
bad people. And they do touch on that a little bit of the Marvel ones. But it's a Marvel movie. They want you to like these characters and buy the toys.
yeah.
But yeah, all these people are not good people. They
No.
do shitty
Yeah.
fucking
Especially-
things.
Especially not Heimdall. That guy's a dick.
oh my god, such a fucking
Heimdall was the best character in this game.
Oh, he
I
was
know, but
so
he's a
good.
dick.
He's such an asshole.
I know.
Your
was so-
stupidity
He's really-
could run an entire town.
He's really good at being an asshole. Is all
I
I'm saying.
loved that guy.
Yeah.
Idris Elba, that's my boy. Charles Minor,
Yeah.
can't fuck with him. But Heimdall in this game just made me smile every time he was just being a piece of shit to Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. I liked Handle. That boss battle was really good. But since we were on Thor, I want to say Ryan Hurst as
Killed it.
Thor.
Opie
fucking great.
killed it.
Great. And if if you're not familiar with him, he was in I believe Sons of Anarchy. I didn't
Opie.
really watch.
Yeah, he was Opie.
Yeah. But oh man,
That was the best character in Sons of Anarchy
His
until he
voice
got
was
killed off.
so fucking good. Spoiler for Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, come on. That show ended 8 years ago. And he died like
Yeah.
12.
And we got a lot of our cast back, but like that whole beginning was like so cool. And like they were like, all right, you know what? We showed you Thor. Here's Odin.
Yeah.
Which blew my fucking mind when I found out it was Richard Schiff from West Wing who plays Toby. I don't know if you saw this guy.
Your name is Toby.
Toby.
Oh, that's Roots. Never mind.
But like it's just like this very like nasally guy in West Wing who just like gets nervous and and
He's a great actor.
no, he was great. He crushed him. Like
He
why does it
crushed in
sound
this
so
role.
familiar? And I just love that they didn't make Odin like super strong, gave him the big armor and like made him like powerful. Like he was just like a diplomat. Well, not really a diplomat. He was like more knowledge based. Which made the when you fight him at the end. So spoiler.
Oh my God! You fight
no.
Odin at the end of this during Ragnarok when he's supposed to die.
But he did such a good job. I loved Odin. I thought Odin was
Oh yeah.
so good.
Yeah, I think this game really benefited from them making the characters pretty close to what the voice actors look like. Like Thor, it kind of has Ryan Hurst's face. Like Odin is Richard Schiff. That's what that guy looks like, other than he has two eyes.
Well, also Leia I can't say her name right.
Ruh-roh.
Leia DeLeon Hayes. Yeah, I don't know why I stumbled on Hayes. I got DeLeon right, but she played Angrboda, and she looks just like her.
Yeah.
Great character. We'll go over characters. Well,
Yeah.
actually, let's do the characters right now since we're actually discussing them. A bunch of new additions we have, like
A lot more. Yeah,
Yeah.
this game feels way more fleshed out with the characters. Like you already said, we now have Thor is a character, Odin's a character. Because of that, we are introduced to Thor's daughter Thrud. We're introduced to
Thrud was
Sif
fucking great.
too.
Sif, his wife, and
Sif.
that was great. Heimdall, obviously. Now we get more with Freya once she stops trying to kill us. We meet Freya's brother, Freyr.
Yeah.
Wow, those parents are really fucking smart thinkers.
I know.
Then there's like a whole team of people that Freyr has working, like Lunda and Bergir, the traveler.
It's the guy that was the boar in the first game too. What's his name? Helsinki or something like that.
Was it Hilda?
Hildisvini.
Yeah, Hildisvini.
Hildisvini. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was-
I thought that was cool where he
Yeah.
just kept making. You would think they're jokes, but they weren't really. How it'd be like,
Yeah.
just don't point that arrow at me, Atreus.
And I love Ratatasker.
Yeah, Ratatasker was fucking great.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah. When he first showed up, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Can we just talk about how great he looked too?
Yeah,
like,
he
he
was
looked
adorable.
awesome. Like, well, hair is always like fur and stuff can always be difficult in a video game, and like, I thought he looked fucking amazing. I
Yeah.
thought he looked great, and I love his little like soul, like pieces of his personality of himself.
Yeah.
Different side missions. Some are like, sorry.
Some of the best dialogue were from the aspects.
they were so good.
One of them in particular, it's when you find like there's like the lindworms you find in the realms, like the things that were in the Yggdrasil tree that you have to like, I guess, use like a Ghostbuster fucking ghost capturing thing to
Yeah.
get them. And he's like, oh my God, you don't like me? And Kratos is just like, you are nothing to me. And he's like, yeah, you know what? That makes me feel better. You're nothing to me too, Mr. Kratos. Oh, thank Thank you for reassuring me. Get bent. He's like, I'm so happy to hear that we mean nothing to each other. That makes me feel so much better. And it's like, wow, someone with anxiety probably would think that.
Yeah, but didn't you hear what he said right before he like this? You walk away from him. He goes, "I love you."
Oh,
Yeah.
Like the dialogue in this was so fucking good.
yeah.
I
Also,
do not want a snack.
Oh my god, dude. You want a snack? I do not want a snack. And then if you go over to the pot, Senju's like, hey, it seems like you do want a snack. And he's just like, Other characters, we finally
Lunda,
meet
there was,
Lunda. Yeah, I said Lunda.
Van Trub, like who like was in Werewolves Within, which she
Oh yeah, the
crushed
AT&T girl.
That
What else we
baffled me. I was like, really? She played Lunda?
Yep. A bunch of people, like
Parallel
the light and dark elves, like who cares?
But,
Yeah, lots of people, lots of cool people.
yeah, it was great. The cat, as usual, the cast
Tyr,
was
yeah.
great. And Sonny Suljic crushed it. And come on, Robert Craighead as Brock. Oh, Brock is like the best fucking character.
Yeah.
Like
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Oh
everyone.
shit!
God,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened.
Yeah. that was rough.
I just can't believe because
I
like
mean, are we going to talk about the whole
We'll
the
get-
big spoiler? Or
I'd say
the
we
big
do have a
twist?
section specifically about biggest twists.
Yeah,
So why don't we
okay.
leave?
Yeah.
We'll leave that.
We'll
for
get
then.
into that.
Yeah.
There was because I'm gonna hop around. I gotta go up because we just moved something around a little bit. We did there was a lot of character development of just not our main characters. We like a lot of our side characters as well. But the biggest thing is the major characters. Like we see such a great growth between Atreus and Kratos at the beginning of this game. Like right off the bat, you
Just
see
more
like
trust right
more
off the bat.
trust, and like you keep getting those little smirks from Kratos as like he's about to tell Atreus to do something. Atreus is like, "Got it," and he just does it. And
Kratos smiles multiple times.
he smiles
Yes.
in this game. This
A
should be
lot.
smile of war.
I think he even cries at the end.
Huh?
Yeah,
Does he
does.
cry at
Yeah.
the end? It's kind of crackling a little bit. Hold
yeah.
on.
Cracking.
Hey, I'll admit I teared up a little bit
At the very end?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It
Man
was-
tears. A
yeah.
lot of the growth happened in the previous game, which is why I'm glad they didn't waste any time. Yes, they still butt heads a little bit, but there's a lot more trust from Kratos. He just basically is like, I trust you, Atreus. What you think is the right way to go. I'm going to give you my opinion, but we'll do it. If it makes sense to do it, we'll do it.
Yeah.
But there are other characters, like even Thor had a great character arc. Like, I mean, ultimately it didn't really mean much because Odin kills him.
But still, it was like even when we're Atreus and we go to Asgard and we're following Odin around, even though later we find out that he was just being fucking fake. Just seeing him walk around and like being kind of this leader, it's like, oh, we're seeing the other side. This is not all just evil on this side.
Yeah,
I thought that was really nice.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And that's the thing. We see a lot of growth of like them kind of distancing each other instead of just being kind of codependent as father and son. And
He's just like on his insane thirst for knowledge.
Yep.
With that mask, which I could not stop thinking about Jim Carrey's The Mask.
I mean,
because it's,
they say that's Loki's mask
Oh,
in the Jim
I know, I was
Carrey
gonna
movie.
say it.
I didn't even fucking
Yeah,
Yeah.
He goes to Ben Stein.
Ben
And he's
Stein.
like, this is Loki's
like, this is-
mask.
This is famous. Being
Yeah, so
Loki's
anytime I pulled
mask.
out, I was like, somebody stop me.
So did
I was hoping at the end where it looks like he's gonna put it on
Look, my
that
roadkill.
that he would like spin around like the Tasmanian devil and be like smoking.
Now that would be one hell
Sucks
of
he
an
broke
ending.
it.
I know.
Would've been
Now
so
we'll never
cool.
know what his masked character would have been.
Is that like lore where the mask would like change Loki into something like?
I don't know. I mean, that's his whole thing is he's like a shapeshifter.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there is lore about
Yeah.
that mask with Loki's story. They've never done it in the Marvel stuff because it's such a minor thing, but
Yeah.
there is precedent for it, and I'm pretty sure it's probably just he utilizes it to discover knowledge. That's probably all. And then they based most of the story on it.
Yeah.
But I do like that they really like keep the bond of like how strong the bond between Kratos and Atreus is. Like we obviously get, which I thought they were gonna definitely do before this came out, the whole I'm mad at you, so I'm gonna join the bad guy. But I didn't expect that they were gonna do it like as he's doing it as kind of like a spy. Which what the plan was kind of like faulty because Odin totally knew.
Yeah.
Well, for other reasons, of course.
Yeah, I
he
mean,
knew, like,
but at that point, we didn't know that Odin had been. He
but
knew
Odin's like, I know he's a spy, but here's this really cool sword, which was really cool. I like that. And just walk around, do a couple favors for me. You're cool, man. It's fine. Your dad killed my son, but it's okay.
He's like, you're not going to murder me now, are you? All right, you can help me.
Again, Odin was great. I liked he kept making little jokes, but then like when he needed to be fucking serious, like everything the way that like Odin was portrayed, just like, you know, you just saw it. He didn't give a shit about anybody but his own fucking goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the growth was really, really well executed in this.
Yeah, for sure.
Another thing that we noticed in this game, there were a lot of general improvements from the first one.
Absolutely.
And when I say first one, I mean like the 2018. Yeah. And in my opinion, I thought it was great. There was a lot of cool things that they did. Joe, was there anything that was new that really kind of stuck out to you?
I like just the scale of the boss battles. Like that was one of my big complaints of the first game was that you kind of just
the bosses were cool and some of them were big.
Many bosses were repetitive.
Oh my god, the trolls over and over again.
Yeah, they definitely was a lot of better enemy variety in this game.
And they actually trolled us, the developers, in that first troll encounter.
Yeah,
when you crash the minecart, and there's a troll, and then you just cut his head off, and you don't have to fight him.
But then when you can unlock the trolls later, you can awaken them with this hilt.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you probably got this, Josh, because you played it a couple times, but I did think it was funny when.
I mean, yeah, I told you when I found it.
Well, Mimir, Mimir says like, I'm talking about. You might have heard this, where Mimir says, "Remember, brother, when we used to just fight trolls all the time? Those are better times." And Kratos even goes like, because Atreus is gone, so he's like, "Yes, those were better times." It's like,
not really. Those weren't. They were so repetitive. They had the same moves, no matter if they had like fire.
Same death animation where you crush it with the pillar.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I will say about this game that is a crazy improvement is now the variety of A, enemies, and B, death animations.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Santa Monica Studios.
Oh, there was so many cool death animations.
Yeah, when you like chop both their arms off and they're just like still like standing there.
I got better.
Oh, my favorite was when you use the spear and you pull two of them into them and then rip them in half. And
or like I did one with the spear earlier. You stab the guy through with the spear and then you like launch the spear off and the torso like goes flying.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some that like I think I see them and I'm like, have I ever seen that? I'm like, I'm 100 hours in on my third playthrough and I think this is new.
Yeah.
Because it's just a different weapon that you're using or something.
Yeah, and sometimes like you'll kill an enemy. It won't even be like an actual death animation, but you'll still like chop their head or their arms off.
Yeah,
because if you have like the element built up on your weapon, those also will do different death animations than just normal ones.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice one of the things they also improved on, that like now enemies are both male and female? Because in the other one it was just the Valkyries were female, and this like you're like, holy shit. Those fucking raiders, the wolf raiders with the women with the whips, but the women will like set themselves on fire and make like before they die, they'll just be like and just I'm like, oh
yeah,
my
that's
God.
pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
But here's the best improvement they made from the first game. When you kick a chain down, your character doesn't automatically climb down the chain. Just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
That's huge quality of life.
You could just kick it and then turn around and run the other way. Oh my god, I love that. Also, the thing with the map where each small section tracks your collectibles.
Yeah.
That's way better.
Though there was something a little glitchy with the map, was it not? Maybe it was just me. You know how you're supposed to click the left side of the pad and that brings you to the map?
Yeah.
It didn't always do it.
Didn't always work for me either.
You were just like, what the fuck, man? Like,
if anything was on the screen whatsoever, like if it was like you just got this lore and it just went away, it would still recognize that even if the prompt wasn't on the screen.
It was
a couple
that,
seconds
or it'll be
after.
like, come on, don't you want to change your armor again?
Yeah, I would do
It's
that
like,
too.
Come on. But I love that. One of the biggest things that I think they did too, it was kind of a way to not do the same thing that they do at the beginning of every one of these fucking games where like everything you got, gone. Like you're starting from square one. Again, yeah, you had to collect and unlock stuff, but like I like that a lot of the heavy and light attack runes were turned into combos.
Yeah.
In this one, like the River of Knives was like a part of a combo, and like when you held L1, I think it was L1 or R1, and you throw the axe and it spins and like hit.
Yeah, it's
like,
a good attack.
Like I thought that was really cool that they implemented that.
Especially right when you start the game, you don't start with just R1, R2, and that's it. You actually have a couple things you can do, which is way better when you're starting a new game. Like you aren't just like, yay, I can just hit this guy.
Yeah.
R1, 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 dodge. R2, R1. Like you can do a couple things. It's a big improvement.
Yeah, and you start with the Blades of Chaos right off the gate too.
Yeah.
I mean, they do force you, at least through the tutorial, to not use it.
Yeah.
And the Thor fight. But then right after that, you have both weapons and you're good to go.
Which we didn't talk a lot about. I get with the boss battles, Josh, and you've mentioned it so many times. Like, and not to backtrack a little bit, but Josh, what was your favorite thing of that Thor fight that you've told me a million times, and I think we need to bring up real quick?
Oh, well, there's two of my favorite things, and now a third because I just found this on my current playthrough. So one of the coolest things I think they did in the game was, I mean, the Thor fight by itself is amazing, but when the scripted death and the game over screen comes up, and then you just hear Ryan Hurst's character be like, "No, I say when this fight ends," and then he resuscitates you with Mjolnir, and then you just pick up the fight again. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
But what I thought was even cooler and what actually took me aback the first time it happened was when both the Leviathan axe and Mjolnir hit, and it creates that frozen thunderbolt that just stays in the ground the entire rest of the game.
And before it does it too, they're sitting in the air like tight, like fucking just stuck to it together, and you and like I almost said Thanos, Thor are like bare hand fighting, and it just like,
I mean, Brock and Sindri said they specifically made the Leviathan axe as a counter to Mjolnir, so yes, it would do that. Yeah,
so fucking.
I like the subtle differences between how they wield them too. Like Thor has to snap to like bring the hammer back, and Kratos just hold his hand up, I guess, and yeah. But the third cool thing I found is the tooth that you knock out of his head stays on the ground the entire game. So if you go back to that area, you can find his bloody tooth on the ground.
Oh wow!
You can't pick it up, but you can find it and you can look at it.
Is that the tooth?
Yeah, the tooth.
Are you telling him the tooth?
Womp womp.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for God of War. Josh is going to kill himself.
So yeah, I just wanted to go back to that real quick because I forgot to say how you've been talking about it so many times, but not on record. I'm like, shit, we should say that because it is a cool moment. One more general improvement we did not talk about that shocked me and I thought was really fucking cool. You get to be Atreus.
Oh, yeah.
That was so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just all the different combinations of followers you have too. Like this parts where like Brock is your follower.
I love that.
And like
Sindri
and later on
Atreus
you get Freya and like
Freya.
all of a sudden like she has her own skill tree and it's like, oh shit, this is like pretty deep.
They implemented so much more in this game to make it just like it was like they were like, we're not going to make it exactly the same. And this is what I said, Josh, in the 2018 discussion that like I don't want the same game. I want something that's going to make me build towards something different.
And his gameplay was really fun too with the mixture of shooting arrows.
It was unique, very unique.
A lot of people complained about it, but I was just like, no, I liked it. Yeah, I guess you could say it's a little clunky, but they're figuring it out. They're gonna figure it out. He's another game.
He's going to feel still like a companion because he's not Kratos. Kratos is fucking Biseptimus, as Ratatasker calls him at one point. So yeah, he's gonna fucking blaze through creatures, but Atreus has his utility. I mean, a lot of the cool parts, like when you go to the different realms with Thor, I thought those were really cool.
Yeah, and I loved playing Atreus. Like, I wish that it was more, because at that time I was like, I don't need to walk around and look for, like, yeah, you can find treasure chests and shit, but you're like, I know, I can see by certain things I can come back here as Kratos.
Yeah.
And this is kind of more on the rails. But I loved how you had the R2 special arrow, and then you had the regular arrows, and then he had his own heavy and light rune attacks.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was great. And then when you get the fucking, what was the name of the sword?
Ingrid.
Yeah. It'd be cool if there was some like post game Atreus content. Maybe there will be some DLC down the line or something. But I don't know.
I feel like and we'll get into it, but actually we can talk about this. I feel like they're kind of setting it up. Because I can't say, I think there's going to be something where we're going to see what Atreus is doing, and then the end of that is going to set up what we're probably going to get in the next game.
Yeah.
The Egyptian realm.
Yeah, I mean, they already said that this is the end of the Norse mythology, so...
Ragnarok's happened, you know, so...
Now Kratos has to go kill the gods of another pantheon.
Yeah, I think
Kratos versus Anubis, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, I think what's going to happen is, should we? No, we'll hold off. We'll hold off on that. Let's keep...
Okay.
Let's keep moving on to this. And we talked about general improvements. We talked about like things that they implemented and stuff like that. What were things that we didn't like about this game? Was there anything in particular that like kind of bugged you? Like,
well, when we were just talking about Atreus, that I actually just thought of something. Like, I thought that the puzzles with those runic arrows were kind of clunky sometimes.
Yeah, some of those were a bit. Yeah,
some trying to get those things to line
up. The sigil arrows. Yeah,
trying
to like link them up to get fire.
The fire. Yeah, some of those were frustrating me.
But I kind of also like that it was a bit more challenging of a puzzle.
I also didn't realize till later that if you can make them. So you can typically only have 3 at a time, but you could still make each 3-1 bigger.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that for like the longest time.
Yeah, you can shoot 9 before before the first one goes away.
Yeah.
So you can make 3 big rings
and
with 9 arrows, and then
I found that out later.
I didn't know that.
I found that out later when I went to 100%. I was like, okay, so
that makes it easier. So
I was like, oh,
never mind.
It's the end of the game, and I didn't get an item to make this easier. So there's something I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
But now you can. There you go, Joe.
Yeah.
All right.
Things I didn't like. I would say that the Berserker optional boss fights were not as difficult. I mean, they were still difficult. One of them being just unfair. The one against 3 at once was literally just the most unfair fight in the whole game.
I tried so many. I upgraded so much different armor to try different types of buffs and all this shit to try to beat them. And boy, man, they were fuck. And it's not that they were tough. Like you said this before. It's just like you have one that's fire, one that's ice. And while you're fighting the main berserker, they're raining fire and ice on top of you constantly.
Yeah, RNG can either make the fight easy or it can just fuck you really quickly. But as far as the berserkers, I think that they were just, I don't know, a little.
They're fun.
They're fun. Yes, they are fun. And they're challenging. But they're just a bit boring.
Once you get that parry
it's
down.
Like fight. They're like attack, jump all the way back to the edge of the battlefield, and then do a long range attack, then get close, and they just keep doing that over and over and over and over again. It's just a bit tedious, but still pretty fun and pretty challenging. Just I think the Valkyries were a little better. I wish we had fought more Valkyries. That would have been cool.
Yeah, and I think that's what really kind of when you finally have those Valkyrie fights, I kind of was out of it a little bit because I was just like, because the Berserker fights were so easy, and then I was like, oh man, I haven't fought a Valkyrie in a fucking while. Here we go, and it's like, oh yeah, they can fly and shit, so that makes things a little bit more fucking difficult. Yeah. Those wing spins and those fucking wing guard ups and stuff like that which goes into what I didn't really care for, which I thought was a cool implication, but again, at the same time, they made it a little too easy. I don't know if in Give Me God of War they make it harder, but the double blue rings, like I thought was like a nice new thing that they added.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But sometimes like the way that some of the characters they just would turn into slow-mo and be like, you can block me now, and it's like, where the fuck's the challenge in that? Like some of the berserkers too, the blue rings would be up for a while, and I could just jog over and just be like, double up, there you go, fuck you, like, you know. And it's like, I get it, you don't want to make it overwhelming, but coming from Elden Ring, make it tough. Who cares? Like, you know, the game was tough. Don't get me wrong, that was fucking tough, but I'm trying to think of there wasn't much I didn't like about this.
Yeah, the only other thing I'll mention is some of the Atreus focused stuff is very slow and cringy, and I'll say right now, the worst part of the entire story is when he goes to Ironwood. Him with Angrboda and their cringy conversation the whole time, and then you're on a fucking yak collecting fruit.
Oh yeah,
so, and then it ends and you fighting like her grandma in a fucking like a bowl, like okay,
cauldron.
It's I get it because they're building up. Ooh, they're the last giants. They're gonna fucking make interracial babies.
Well, I think it was also just showing that like Atreus is still just a kid, like, and that's why we see him also in Asgard. How happy he is to be around. Like, you got to think about it. His fucking 2 parents is a fucking head in Kratos.
He's got 2 dads.
He's got 2 dads. He doesn't interact with
like 1 and a 0.1 dad.
Anybody his own age. I think Angrboda is probably the only woman he's talked to his own age, and you could just kind of tell like he's like, it's a girl. Like he kind of gets that like, oh my god, it's a girl. Like I gotta.
I'd rather see him and Thrud hook up.
Him and Thrud were better.
Make super ginger babies.
But thought it was funny when he was trying to be sweet and he picked a flower.
She's like, "Oh, you killed a flower."
Like,
oh, cool.
Was like, and he's like,
"You keep
Fuck.
it."
I fucked up. But I get what you're saying. But I did like that. Like, it just shows us that he's a teenager now and he's still trying to learn how to be a man and figure out women and like, you know.
Where's my pee-pee go?
Where's my pee-pee
There is conversations like that where he's just like trying to figure out sex, or at least
I like a girl, or like,
is there a girl that you like? Well, no, but you know,
hypothetically,
if I wanted to finger blast somebody, how would I do it, Father?
Boy,
I did like a lot of the Atreus new stuff where he's like, so Dad, when am I going to get muscles like yours?
Oh, I think my beard's coming in. And they're like, oh yeah? Oh, you think your beard's coming in? And it's like, I'm pretty sure that's dirt. And he's like, no, it feels like a beard. And Kratos is like, sure.
See, that's one of the things I really like too, that they really hammer in the like, this is just like a dad and his like best friend and watching this kid that's growing up, and the kid just says like silly things like, why aren't I gonna get muscles like yours? And he's like, as a god, I don't have these muscles because I'm a god. It's because I work hard for these muscles.
Because of discipline. Mimir's like, well, basically you need to pick up heavy things and put them down if you want that physique.
Yes, go to Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
Get the Kratos workout. Just lopping off gods.
It'd be called Realm Fitness. Realm of Fitness. Yeah.
It's just like a giant statue of like Jesus, and you throw axes at it.
What the fuck? Jesus wasn't in this game.
Well, he was supposed to be.
That's the next game.
Yeah, he's gonna kill Jesus.
He was gonna be in he was gonna be in the third one. That was like something they were gonna do, but then they cut it out. They were just
because they realized that they fucking all the like Christian groups would boycott the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole difference with that is it's not like a polytheistic religion. You just kill God and then that's it.
Yeah.
Now we talked about like general improvements and things that were in the game that we really liked. Another thing was, what was your weapon of choice? Were you an axe daddy? Were you a chaos blade wielding mama? Or were you?
No, it's all daddy. It's not. There's no feminine with Kratos whatsoever.
That axe though is I said Blaze Daddy.
I too like the axe.
Yeah, I like.
I forgot that's another thing. Would you have a favorite weapon?
Yeah.
And he's like, I like the axe. I do like the axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I think on my first playthrough was just axe because I didn't use the blades a lot.
I like the blades.
But now in my third, where I'm going all runic, the blades are where it's at.
Well, because that's what its major.
That's
attack
my
base
favorite.
off
It's
of
just it brings me back to the original games.
Yeah.
It's also when you get those hordes of like things attacking you, you just fucking slice and dice, baby.
Yeah, it's better for crowd control.
I do like the drop. I do like the new spear that you get though. That's pretty cool.
Love the spear.
Yeah.
Like I've become such like a it is more of a dodge base weapon.
Yeah.
Like just fucking dodging and just throwing like
and then activating and like they get juggled in the air. And
even
stuff.
bosses like when I fought Nob, like that was a major thing that I used against her. It was time consuming, but like
Who? Knob?
was it Gana?
Nah. Okay.
Yeah.
He said knob.
No,
I was
it's
like,
a
who the
knob.
fuck's a knob?
Knob. Like, and she would just like fall down if she was about to like ring you, and then like you would just get the blades out and fuck her up. Like I love that spear, man. I thought that was such a cool, like even getting the spear, like such a good fucking
Yeah.
I'm glad that they didn't go the easy route and you just get Mjolnir. It would have been cool, but I'm glad that they didn't make that decision because it seemed even the developers came out and said it was just too easy to be like, well, you get Mjolnir as your third weapon.
Well, you said this too in our 2018 discussion that like it's too much like the Leviathan axe.
Yep.
But it would have been cool.
Yeah, I mean, there would have been some really cool like lightning effects and.
Well,
attacks,
what I wanted, Jody, was Mjolnir in one hand and the Leviathan axe in the other, and that would have been fucking awesome. Imagine doing like what is that the rage of the ice giant beam and a fucking lightning bolt? That would have been fucking awesome.
What if you get Stormbreaker?
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, it would just fucking. I wish they did more with. That was the thing, and I should have said in complaints was, I wish they did more combo attacks at the same time, like fire and ice and fire, like combo, like mixed attacks.
Well, I like that. Like with the spear, you can suck up the elements into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Oh, I don't think I even tried doing that. Yeah, see,
that's like the whole point of the R2.
The spear's my favorite weapon. Wait, I didn't focus on like the first ability that's open, where you suck up the element and you gain resistance to that element.
Nope.
You fucking chomo.
That would have fucking came in handy with that 3 fucking berserker battle.
No, I just like the attack where you hold down R1 and you just like stab a bunch of spears in.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite heavy spear attack was when you rain a bunch of fucking spears from the sky.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Mine is one where you whip a bunch of like
tornadoes.
No, it's like it's like blades of wind.
That's the one I use very well too. I just love that addition of that weapon. I thought that was really fucking cool. And now being able to switch between 3 weapons,
just made combat more chaotic, which I love. And they also had elements of the game that reward you for successfully going between all 3 of them, because you get like perks.
Yeah.
If you can just like use one runic attack from this, and this, and now you get some super fucking buff Storm of the Bifrost thing, which, since we haven't mentioned it, Bifrost being probably
that was the newest addition, and
probably one of the worst additions to the game but it's also cool that they added, new status
made
effects.
some things so fucking hard.
It's nice when you can use it to your benefit when you get like items or
Project number 9.
Yeah, the chakra that throws a couple things of Bifrost.
I've played that with that from like most of the game.
Yeah, me too.
That was my favorite ones.
Yeah. Because I'd have Kratos use it, and then I would run up, I'd start using runics, and then also have Freya use hers that did the stun and Bifrost thing.
Yeah. I just got the one with Mimir where you like hold his head up.
Yeah, that's I tried using it. Yeah, Project 9. I had a hard time, like, it's probably good against like groups of enemies. It's not good against like berserkers.
No.
It doesn't stun.
No.
And it has a long animation, so you're just
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
just kinda
getting
standing there.
fucking smacked.
Yeah, even if you get them on Bifrost, it's like minimal for the berserkers. It's like such a waste. I think
Yeah.
with them, the best thing, we don't have time to go in all the relics, but the relics, some of them, a lot of them were useless, but some of them were really good. Like the
Thunder one, I thought, the shock one.
that
was
one,
the one I used.
that
a
one
lot.
was all right, but the one that I used was the realm shift one
Yep,
that you get from
That's another good one.
beating
Because that
Hendo.
gives you like 5 seconds of realm shift. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that one was really cool. Like that definitely helped fucking berserkers like big time, especially the 3. Did we want to get into the armor?
I
I
mean,
don't think we need to. I was
Yeah.
gonna put
on my first playthrough, definitely the dragon armor because I wasn't giving a
That's-
shit. I was just going all
the
strength and
falling
defense.
star.
Yeah,
armor
that's
was-
what I have on right now is the dragon armor.
Because I'm doing runic build on my third one, the falling star armor is what I'm using. That's
It's
why I have like
fucking
360 runic or something like that. Something stupid.
It makes
I
your
just found
blades-
that well where you can throw the
Yep.
the crystals in.
Yeah, that's where you
Yeah.
get that
Yeah.
armor, the
Yeah.
falling star
It's
armor.
such a good armor. The giant's armor, or the troll armor's really fucking good.
Yeah, it's like crazy defense.
Yeah, it helped me. That's what I beat now with. Like,
Oh, because it also gives you like health regeneration and stuff like that, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that armor was fucking sick. One thing I do want to ask: what was your favorite boss fight, guys?
That's a tough one.
The one against Heimdall was really cool.
I have to agree with you. I think Heimdall was the most unique.
Yeah, for sure.
It
It was kind of tough too.
was really tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did also like the one against Hriest and Mist, the 2
Yeah.
Valkyries.
Yeah,
and,
that was-
and Muspelheim.
I didn't
Although
like the share health. I didn't like that.
I like that because you could only they shared health, so you could just attack either one. It wouldn't matter.
The Garm fight was pretty cool too.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite was the Needhog fight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's-
Needhog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is Garm. Oh no,
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 that's
it's not. No, it's
different,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This one was like
Yeah.
the realm shift creature that like
Yeah.
would just like punch a hole and then like its tail would fucking come at
Yeah,
you.
that was
And, like
really
that
cool.
was such a
And
fucking awesome.
The end of
fight.
that fight too, they like shut the realm and like its head gets cut off.
Oh, it was so
yeah, by
awesome.
the portal.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I also thought the Garm one was pretty.
The Garm
cool.
one was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I fucking loved Garm, and I was like, "Come on, be a good puppy."
Oh, I love that when
I was like- I was-
Fenrir's soul gets
That
put
got
into
me.
Garm.
I was
yeah.
like, as a dog owner, I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh, big puppy."
Yeah.
You could pet him later in Jotunheim.
It's also
I just did that actually before I got here.
I was like, "Oh, you can pet him. He's a big puppy."
look at that big boy. You can make him sit. And he's all cute. But yeah, that was great because it's also like at the beginning of the game when Fenrir died, I was like, Fenrir is supposed to have a big part in the lore of Ragnarok. And then when you put the soul of Fenrir into Garm, and then he becomes a tame, giant, realm-tearing puppy, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And he's also fighting during Ragnarok, like with Angrboda. Like,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah, I love that.
I kind of wish like towards the end I was a little disappointed that like Surtur really didn't do anything until like towards the end. He was just kind of like
He shows up and
just kind of like standing there. I'm like, are you gonna do anything? Like,
And then he's like, "I have a sword."
yeah. Then he stabs the heart of Asgard and
Yeah, after like doing nothing.
yeah.
Where what is it, Freyr? Freya's brother?
yeah,
How do you-
Freyr.
Freyr. I liked him. We didn't talk much about him, but I thought his character was great. How he was kind of like when you save him from being injured, and he was like,
He's all fucked
"Dude,
up and
what were muses in your time, Kratos?
man.
Yeah.
They influenced people like gave them inspiration, and he was like, damn, why don't I could do that.
literally right before I came here, that conversation was happening, and I don't think I'd heard it before because I wasn't paying attention to
Yeah.
his fucking like messed up ramblings.
Yeah, I really like whenever they bring up the Greek era. Like Mimir will ask him at Kratos a lot of questions about it when you're
That's
riding around.
another really good improvement. Actually,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
forgot is that Kratos is actually very open about talking about his history from
Yeah.
before.
He talks about like the Medusa. He's like, tell me about some of the creatures of your homeland. And
Yeah.
he tells him about the Medusa. He's like, she would turn men to stone with her gaze.
Like Mimir's like, I've heard some crazy stories about you, and it's like, yeah, I understand the whole like revenge bloodshed thing. It's like, but some of them said that you went back in time to change your fate. It's like, that can't be true. He's like, yes, I did that. And Frey is just like, that is the most irresponsible thing I've ever heard
and
of.
Like Mimir, he's heard of Zeus before.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you're the son of Zeus. That explains a lot.
Well, he's the most intelligent person, you know.
Yeah.
Smartest man alive.
Yeah.
I like how they make fun of him a little bit about that. Like when you're following like a dragon's like footprints and you find one, it's like, that's Mimir's just like, that's a big footprint. And Kratos is like, smartest man alive.
You see Zeus in the 2018 one.
Yeah, he's in Helheim.
Yeah.
I loved how, and Josh told me about this first, where Mimir totally brings up how Kratos was in Mortal Kombat. He's like,
random conversation when you're on the boat. Yeah.
He's like, I heard you were in a tournament with a bunch of automatons and like
a lizard and the world's greatest entertainer. Like, is that doesn't sound right?
I don't talk about such things.
That's hilarious.
He's like,
I forgot he was in. Yeah, he was probably like Mortal Kombat 9 or 10.
One of them.
I remember being disappointed. It was really slow. They made him very slow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he can't be. He can't be the same Kratos.
We discussed our favorite boss. Was there a particular realm that we all really enjoyed?
Vanaheim.
Yeah.
Yep, I think we all had the same one. Yeah. Vanaheim was so much fun. Those dragon fights, when a dragon's swooping down and you throw a fucking spear at it, and it just
falls. Yeah, I just fought one of those.
so much
cool.
Fucking fun. So much fun. A lot of the other realms were great. I thought Jotunheim. No, not Jotunheim. Svartalheim. Svartalheim.
Yeah, the realm of the dwarves.
That annoying dwarf.
That was
Durlin. Was that
Durlin? Yeah.
I thought Helheim was a little watered down in this one.
There's not really much to do there.
There's nothing to do there. Yeah.
Like, it wasn't as challenging. Nothing was as challenging as what we went through in the 2018 one.
Yeah, fuck that. That was just tedious. It wasn't even like challenging. It was just like boring.
Yeah. It's just like, give me all the armor upgrades. Let's fucking do this.
I'm so glad that they kept the tedious gameplay to a minimum. I'd say the Muspelheim trials are the only thing that felt very tedious in this game. Because to unlock like the final challenges, it's like, we'll do these same challenges in different orders to unlock different final challenges. And it's like, so I'm just doing the same basic challenge over and over just to unlock a new challenge so I can finish this.
Yeah, it was very boring. It wasn't boring, but it was like, this is not.
After you do it a couple times, you're like, all right, let's just get through this kind of thing.
Yeah, let's move on.
Luckily, it didn't take that long to do all that, but yeah.
We did these kind of topics out of order. I believe we already talked about our favorite death animation a bit. Favorite Mimir and Atreus thing, we kind of went over that, and we already went over the new characters. The biggest thing, now I don't want to go deep into side quests because we are getting far in time, and I know you have somewhere to be, Jody, so we won't keep you too long, but side quests, and the only reason I want to bring this up because I don't know if you've done this yet, Joe. Have you gone to the prison?
Yeah, I actually just did that.
Because I just
and that's actually something that I was happy I did that because one of my complaints would have been was like I wanted to know what happened to Tyr, like the actual Tyr.
Same.
So like I'm glad that you found him in the post game and like
and he's even more fucked up.
Yeah.
So if people haven't gotten to this part yet, and we said there'd be spoilers, if you haven't gone to the prison, go. Tyr's there.
Go to Niflheim.
Yeah, the real Tyr.
Then when you go to different realms.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
He's there.
Yeah, he's just meditating in different realms after.
Oh, is he? Oh,
and just finding out what happened.
You just find him in some places he's meditating, some places he's just looking around.
Oh.
Yeah, he's just trying to figure out what happened. But I don't know if you also noticed all the people, you find a person from each different realm in that prison, and that's supposed to indicate that Odin was possessing that person in every single realm. And the developers even said that, yes, Odin was in every single realm watching you do everything. Like when you first get to Svartalheim and they're like, oh, are they sending these alarms up because of us? There's a dwarf that's on a bridge that spits into the water when you go under it. That's Odin. The developer said that was Odin.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he came out.
I didn't
and
even think of that.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't know unless the developer was just like,
Well-
yeah, we hid.
Well, they
Odin
even
everywhere.
said, like, why did he keep Tyr alive? And they were like, well, maybe that's the only way he could keep his form was if he was still alive.
And, we didn't talk about that.
Well, that's the next
Yeah.
topic that we're
Yeah,
going to talk
okay.
into right now was, maybe we should set it after because why was Tyr in the prison, guys? Because we find Tyr in the beginning of the
We do.
game, right?
Yes. We find Tyr within like 3 story missions. We go to find Tyr and rescue him.
But what's the twist, boys?
He's not Tyr. He's Odin.
Oh my God.
I was surprised.
I was very surprised
Yeah.
when that happened.
I kind of had a feeling, and Josh and our buddy Rich that was on a previous episode, I don't know if they thought that I wasn't listening. I heard them both say, I did not see that coming with Tyr. And I was like, and Josh tried to like cover it. He was like, we meant something else. We meant like him being a pussy. We did not see him being a pussy.
Well, Andrew was shit-faced at that point, so I just kind of assumed he wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't that drunk yet at that point. That was like the beginning of the night.
Yeah, right. For my ties.
Mr.
But,
Judgmental over here.
But that didn't actually ruin the
It was
the
kind
twist
of,
at that
if you
point.
really look at it, it was
Did that ruin Brock
of-
being killed by
No,
Tyr?
that didn't ruin it. But like, I kind of had my implications of Tyr because the fact that how useless he was, and there was certain things I noticed he was doing where he was definitely like trying to pin Kratos and Atreus against each other, where like he'd be like, oh well, Atreus made a mistake, Kratos, like I don't know, like maybe he's gonna betray us, and like say like he was trying. It just sometimes seemed like he was trying to drive a wedge between them. I didn't see him becoming Odin. I honestly had an idea where I thought maybe we saw Tyr going all to these realms, and maybe we thought he was trying to do peace, where I thought maybe he was going to have an ulterior motive. But no, it was fucking Odin.
The whole time.
That shocked me. And then
And-
Brock, I
and it
love
killed
that,
Brock.
how he's like, and why the fuck are you calling him Loki? That's not his
That was
fucking
the
name."
one slip. If he didn't do that,
Yeah.
I mean, Brock was the smartest person at that point. He's like, "What do you mean you've had a way to get to Asgard this whole time and you didn't say anything? What do you mean? And why are you calling him Loki?" And he's like, "This is not adding up." And then he took a very small knife and stabbed Brock once, and Brock's just dead.
yeah.
Yep. Which we find out too, another twist that Brock died before,
Yeah,
and
and his soul is incomplete, and now he's like his soul.
He
won't
can't go to the he can't go to the afterlife.
Yeah,
is that why he's like blue? Like
No,
they say
no,
before,
no,
but
it's
I'm
not.
wondering if
that's
that's
just dwarfism.
Yeah. He's got dwarfism.
But like all the dwarves, when they saw him, were like afraid of him. They were
Because they could sense he didn't have part of his
Yeah.
soul.
I wonder if they're gonna do something with that, where like there's one part of his soul, like, and Sindri's gonna try to find it. You know.
I think if they were gonna do that, they would have done that in this game.
Yeah,
And that was one of the biggest twists too, where Sindri becomes a completely different character. He's so fucking badass at the end. And by the way, and I said this to you, Josh, when we see like the prophecy, they're like, oh, here's the champion, and we're like, and he comes with an army, and he's got this little helmet, and he's got a hammer. When you see Sindri fighting with Atreus, he's wearing that like same type of helmet, and he's holding that same type of hammer. So I'm wondering if he's going to be becoming the champion, because from what we see is the prophecy does not come to fruition, but we think it's got to come on, right? It has to. Is this like
No, I think the narrative of this game is that prophecy isn't going to determine
fate doesn't
anything.
bind you.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So, no, I don't think. I do think that you could be right, because he was the champion that at least took down the wall in
was so
Hrimthir's
badass.
flaw.
That was so
Um,
fucking badass.
Dude, did you? So at that point, when you're in like the whole Ragnarok thing, where he puts the thing in the wall and you're supposed to shoot it, if you don't and you don't do, he gets fucking pissed he gets super pissed at Atreus, and there's a bunch of dialogue where he's just like, "Shoot the fucking wall, you idiot!
Oh wow, really?
How stupid are you?" Like he gets fucking bullshit.
Wow,
Yeah, it's crazy.
that's a little over the top.
And I think we talked about it off mic how like, the twist is like how much, like, not really a twist, but we really focus on how much Atreus and Kratos do take from. Did we mention that already on the record?
No, we didn't. We were talking about it before. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And I mean, Sindri was also right towards the end too. Like they asked so much of them in both games. And Sindri and Brock gave them shelter and weapons and their greatest treasure. He gave them the Dropnir ring, which was the thing that was keeping them having all sorts of resources to work on, equipment, and they just gave it away. And he gave his skills and all of this, and all they kept doing was taking and taking and taking until the only thing he had, which was his brother, was taken from him, and now he doesn't have that.
But they offered though. They never asked, like, especially in the first one, they're constantly trying to fix the axe for him, and then we get it, like he's mourning. But like, especially Brock was the one who was like, just give them Dropmir, like, and he's like, what? But like, you can tell they cared about Sindri and Brock.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, it's just it's a fresh wound. That's
and
all.
the way that they showed like how much Brock's death, like, because you can definitely tell if each Atreus and Sindri kind of get along a lot better because they both have like a superior figure that's kind of like the alpha against them, so they're kind of like sticking together. And where Brock and like Kratos just like, yep, we're the older two and we're the badass tough guys. And like, I loved when you have Brock following you around here with Kratos. I thought that was really, really cool. But like,
yeah, Brock was great.
But
great performance.
the funeral, you can tell how much like it hit Kratos. It really hit Kratos.
Yeah. I think that him acting like that, Sindri, is not meaning he's going to be like a villain in the next one. I'm going to look at it more.
Might be like with Freya, what they did.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. It's going to be like a short-term resentment, and then something bigger is going to happen, and they realize that they have to kind of work together, or maybe they will do a thing where they search for the missing piece of Brock's soul, and ultimately they can't bring him back, but maybe they can allow him to go to Helheim, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
It would be a good way to implement going into different universes, like where I don't think we're done with this mask thing. I think Sindri's going to be like, well, there's different universes. Maybe there's a different way I can figure out how to bring Brock back alive, like completely. Because they even say at the end, like, if there were, like, Mimir was like, even like, if I knew of a way, we would do it.
Yeah.
So I think they might. And I think Atreus doesn't say it, but I think even Atreus is gonna. I think that's gonna be one of his goals, because he's putting souls into different things, and they really focused on how Brock's one part of soul is still there somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nah, he did.
I would say it. I think as far as how it impacted the story, I think he's probably
burned.
Dead. Yeah.
Give me a weapon that just has Brock's voice.
Oh, it's like that a ring you found that has that guy in it, and instead of you just hearing like, you actually hear like, "Boy, motherfucking slack fucking whore." Yeah. Whop him in his newts.
What does he say something about like Atreus like coming from his daddy's nutsack or something like that? Oh man. But I think you already said like our next topic was going to be Sindri, future villain or red herring, but you just pretty much just said it, Josh. Like I don't think they're going to really.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say he's a main villain. No.
I think it's going to get to the point though where he's kind of good, but then his ulterior motives fuck everything up, and it's just going to be, we'll probably get like some sort of spirit of Brock or something being like, just let me fucking go, let me be dead, like just stop.
Yeah, I could see that. Before we end, do we want to maybe talk quickly about speculation for the next game?
This would be our final topic.
Okay, that's what.
What do we
I
think the next game is going to have? Will prophecy of Kratos' death happen in a later game, or what do we expect to happen after this?
I think if there is a sixth game, I do think Kratos will die. I don't think it's going to be at the beginning. I'd say it's probably going to be more towards the end of the game. I feel like with Atreus at the end of this game being like, I'm going to find all the giants and their souls and, all this, I think that adventure leads well into him finding himself in a different realm, the Egyptian realm, which has been brought up in both games. We find artifacts from that realm in this game. Tyr journeyed to that realm in the first game and they talked about it. It only makes sense. And there's a whole pantheon of Egyptian gods, some of them fucking humongous. I mean, saw, so I could see that happening.
Yeah, basically that's what I think too.
Yeah. I could see Sindri acting as a person that maybe kidnaps Atreus to present him to one of these Egyptian gods, because Egyptian gods were all about sacrifice. Maybe they think they'll gain some power by sacrificing Atreus, and that is what causes Kratos to go after him, ultimately leading to his death. And then maybe the next series is God of Mischief, and it's Loki.
Yeah.
I love that God of Mischief. Joe, do you have any speculations? Anything?
No, pretty much the same. I think they're probably gonna go to the Egyptian realm because there's been all the references to it in the game. So, which I think would be really cool. Like there's a whole like world to explore there. So
yeah, I would love to see that, different weapons, different items we get to play with. Don't get rid of the Leviathan axe, please. I fucking love it. I guess one thing that I would say that I would think, I don't know, I kind of expected it in this game, but I'm waiting for like possibly a god from the Greek universe that we thought we killed coming back looking to kill Kratos, being
that
like,
would be cool.
Like Hermes in a wheelchair. Cut his legs off.
Something. Yeah, that would also be really cool if they found some way to return to the Greek era, like just to see these kind of like enemies and bosses and these like new graphics would be cool.
Oh yeah,
because it's probably still creatures and shit there. You'd fight more like one-eyed ogres and stuff, and and there'd just be like everyone would resent Kratos.
I'm sure there's some way they could write the story where like Zeus
time
gets
travel.
Zeus gets
or resurrected, or maybe that's the thing that. Because like he
escapes Helheim somehow.
Because they did talk about time travel a little bit in what Kratos did, but then there was a couple times that I think they focused a little too much on time travel, and I was like, are they gonna do this at some point? And because it's like you said, I would love if we go and it's old Kratos and new Kratos.
Yeah.
Or they get
that guy to come back.
I can't TC something.
Imagine he just says, "Why do you say boy like that?" Boy.
The original guy just screams. The original guy just screams the whole time, and new Kratos is just like, "Dude, why are you yelling?"
It's like, Zeus, I bring the destruction of Olympus.
It's like, whoa, inside voice. Jesus.
Is that why my throat hurts all the time? Like from just doing that?
I just remember like. And whenever I would play Startup God of War 3, that part would make me laugh. That line delivery.
Yeah, it was not great. Can we get a take two? He's like, no.
Well, anything else?
Yeah, before we end this, I just want to say the developers made a great game, but they also trolled the shit out of us. The Platinum Trophy on this is difficult. You get a lot. There's a lot to do. But the post-game stuff where it's like, let's 100% all the realms. Do you guys know what the reward is for that?
A big pile of shit.
25 experience.
It's so pathetic.
And no lines of dialogue whatsoever, and nothing changes.
I thought you get like maybe like a post-credit scene or...
I went to Tyr's temple. I went home. I went to Freya's home. I went back to the place where the like the end game stuff started, like that the place where all the people were, like I there's nothing. I went back to the the final altar thing they find that has his prophecy about being the god of peace and like, bringing peace to the realms, and nothing. There's nothing new.
Yeah.
What a fucking troll.
Here's 25 points of
25 experience.
Where by this point you have so much experience points that like you don't even have really things to even really use it on.
You already upgraded all your stuff. Yeah.
You're like, oh, thanks.
I finished a mission for the final thing. It was the Across the Realms mission where you're getting ingredients for those 2 gay guys. Did you guys find that mission? It was weird. It was in Midgard. Like the eternal campfire.
Yeah.
It was about like 2 gay dudes and they fall in love. I was like, okay, weird. But also the reward for that was sick. +5 to all stats. I didn't find that till my second playthrough. I completely missed it on the first playthrough. But I beat that and you get like 2,500 experience. And then it was like
$5
Beyond Ragnarok complete. 25 experience. And I was just waiting. I'm like, Freya, are you going to say anything? Please? You know what I was hoping for? I was hoping for like a circle prompt to pop over her head. And then you just see like...
Then she just go down.
And you're just like...
I
see a
think
table moving and like a vase falling off.
I'm honestly thinking that I'm sensing there's going to be something like Auntie Freya is going to be like stepmommy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be banging, dude.
Like there's something there. Before we end, there was actually one thing in this game that I forgot to mention I didn't really care for. How they barely give you any time before the fucking companion goes, why don't you try that thing over there? It's like, shut the fuck up. I'm
They
playing
thought
the
we
game.
were so stupid in this game with the puzzles.
Look at that over there. It's like,
maybe
shut
you
up.
should hit that latch on the thing that's holding it up after you prop open this thing. Okay.
Oh, thanks. You want the controller?
Why don't you do it, you son of a bitch?
Cat's heard me say so many times, maybe you should shut the fuck up, Freya. Like,
and you can't turn that off. You can turn off the on-screen prompts when it comes to tutorials, like, do this to do this attack. You can turn that off or lower it. But your companion won't give you time to solve puzzles. Like, they should at least let you fail a few times before they just tell you exactly what to do. So yeah, they really hold your hand. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my most annoyances because, these games, I want to figure out. Not until the end game really looked anything up online. Like
I only had to look up one thing to platinum this game. It was the location of one Odin Raven because, and I told you where it was, Andrew. It was, and did you go and find that?
So I didn't know. I kind of was like, I think I got that one, but then I was like in that area and I was looking for something else. And then I just walked by the library and I was like, hold on a second. And what you said kind of rung in my head where I was like, those rocks kind of look weird. And like, I just went over and just like hit them and was like, there's an underground in here. I would not have been able to, I would have walked by that.
It's a mechanic
so many times.
They never did in the game where it's basically like, that elven like the library where you go and get like so where you grapple up to on the ground, there's just rocks and rubble and dead bodies. You throw your axe at the ground, there's a thing that opens up, and there's a Nornir chest and an Odin Raven in there. And they don't do that the entire game, where like there's hidden like things you can crawl through really that aren't obvious.
Yeah,
there was a couple things they did with that.
But it wasn't like bodies propped up around.
No, yeah.
It was like, oh, there's splintered wood here. Yeah, I'm gonna hit that.
Usually it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And I know we don't want to dwell on this any longer because we could have done this at the beginning, but we forgot about this. There was even like, how they have those like kind of like veiny things that you have to hit in a sequence, like plant things with the light in it. You know what I'm talking about? You throw the axe in.
Yeah, yeah.
And it'll unreveal like a chest will have all this pink shit over it.
Yeah, and there's like the orbs of light in the middle, and you gotta like throw the axe.
You know what I'm talking about, Josh?
All three.
Yeah.
It's from the first one, like the big, like pink tubes with the little like thing with the light in it, and you got to throw the.
Oh
axe
yeah.
Like
you got to hit a couple of them.
Yeah.
There was one chest that like none of them you had to do it like this, where you had to hit 2 and then move a little bit over and quickly recall the axe to get the third one and hit it on the way back.
Yeah.
Are you
And
is that in that Elven Sanctuary?
Yeah.
You can actually no. There's those reflective plates.
No, this one, the reflective plate wasn't. It would hit the 2, and you had to like recall the axe right at a certain point, and it would hit the third one.
You had to throw it at a certain one, and then it would go between all 3. And if you waited long enough, it would hit all 3 at the same time.
I don't know, man. When I tried like
Because I did it the way you said the first time, and then there was the second time I tried hitting the other ones. And there was one of those plates that will bounce between all 3, and it's a little. At first, if you immediately stop it, because it goes like 1 or 2 loops, and it's just like, well, this isn't doing it. But if you wait, it actually will do it. It just needs to, I don't know, gain momentum or something like that. I don't know. It was weird, but like you said, the first time I actually did that puzzle where you hit 2 and then recalled it through the other one.
That worked. It was a bit cooler if they just did that. But I don't know, guys. I think that I know you got to be somewhere, Joe. So like we won't hold you up any
go home
longer.
and wash his asshole.
Thank you so much for coming on and
for sure,
and discussing God of War Ragnarok. And there's so much more as we're ending this that I'm like, we didn't go over this. We should have gone over this. But like, there's just so much to go over on this game, everyone. And if you want to know more, just fucking play it. It's such a great game. Like, it's probably the best game I've played this year. And I'm looking forward to the future of the series. But again, Jody, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Joe.
Thanks for having me.
For coming on.
Come back for Marvel Snap.
Oh, hell yeah. You got to start playing it.
Yeah, start playing it.
Probably will get it tonight or maybe tomorrow.
And now that we finished our Path to War mega series, Josh, now even though we have gone away from war and fighting and all this, we've decided to also do a movie, well, you suggested as well, that has a little bit of fighting, but as well as love in it.
Yeah, we are covering Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Which is very heavily video game influenced.
Very video gamey. They use a lot of Zelda sound effects.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I loved that movie when we watched it, and then we didn't get to record it, so I can't wait to watch it again.
I can't wait to watch it again, too. I love that. It's such a good movie, so it'll be definitely...
Problematic main character, but very good.
Oh, yeah. He's a dick. But if there's anything that we missed in God of War Ragnarok and... you wish we discussed.
We did.
Well, we did miss a lot. But if you want us to bring it up on a future episode, you can reach out to us at 8bitmoviereview@gmail.com. That's the number 8bitmoviereview@gmail.com. And, boys and girls, you can always hit us up on Facebook and Instagram.
Or if you want to listen to our backlog of video game reviews and movie discussions, you can go to our website at anchor.fm/8bitpod. That'll lead you to all of our streaming options, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, where you can leave a comment that we will maybe read live on the podcast.
I'll read it if you folks just fucking finally do it.
Bastards.
You bastards. But I'm Andrew Gonzalez.
And I am Josh Edgington.
And thank you so much for listening to this
And that's
episode.
Joe D.
And that's Joe D.
I'm Joe D.
And that's Donzu.